Hello everyone, it's Lindsay and I am back working in my traveler's notebook that I created for the 30-day journal challenge for Felicity Jane, and I am working on the second prompt using this month's Lola Kit. I'm a little behind in the challenge. It's been kind of a crazy week, but I am super excited about this particular page. So you can see here I did ring bind my traveler's notebook. You can check out my past video to see how I did that, but it makes it super easy to pull out the pages to work on. So today's prompt is to journal something that you are proud of. And so I have this photo here of my dad baptizing me a few years ago, and it's something I'm very proud of and wanted to document. I hadn't really documented it anyway. And so I thought this would be a perfect project. Now I am covering this page with one of the pattern papers from the kit this month. If I was to go back, I should have worked on that paper first and then attached it to the traveler's notebook page because I did some stitching and things like that, but it's okay. It works out just fine. So you can see here, I had cut down all of my papers to fit in my traveler's notebook. They're all about 4 1/4 by 8 1/4 tall, and I fussy cut out one of the floral papers to kind of fit the bottom corner here, and this is actually going to create a pocket for a journaling card. So this worked out perfect the way that the flowers were laid out on the page that I had cut out, and I just applied very minimal adhesive to 3 sides of that, and I'm actually going to stitch this all down here in a second. So it's just to kind of temporarily hold that piece in place. And then here I have the chipboard pieces from this month, and they have this really cute micro black polka dot on them, but they weren't going to stand out too much against that dash background. So I am going to color in these stickers with a black marker, and just that way there's some more contrast between the background and these stickers, and this is what's going to create my title. And I am going to spell out new life, so I'm documenting all about this milestone in my life that I'm proud of, becoming a Christian and getting baptized as a public statement of that. And I was so lucky. I asked my dad if he would do it for me, and it was just such a special moment to have him baptize me. And I wanted a place where I could do a lot of journaling, and so that's why I decided to create this page with a pocket. That way I could get tons of journaling down and have it kind of tucked away on this page. As I'm working through this particular traveler's notebook, because it's for the 30-day challenge, I'm not doing double page spreads like I normally do. Each page is for each individual challenge, and so they're kind of standalone pages, and so I don't really have as much space as I typically do. When I work in my traveler's notebook, I usually have one side of the spread is kind of focusing on the photo, and then the other side of the spread is focusing on the journaling, but I don't have that much space with this project, and so I'm trying to find some creative ways to add my journaling but also have large statement photos also. And so it's been kind of a fun challenge. If you've not jumped into the 30-day challenge, it's not too late. There isn't any specific date to start, so you can head on over to Felicity Jane blog and there will be a list of those prompts for you. And they go perfectly with the Lola stamp set this month because the stamp set has all kinds of fun journaling prompt type stamps to kind of help you as you journal through the process. So you can see I'm just kind of laying things out. Those stickers, be careful. They are super, super sticky, and I wasn't careful pulling them off the backer sheet, and so a couple of them I pulled away from the adhesive, but that's okay. I can just add some dry adhesive to the back of them and get them to stick. I currently have them just on a piece of plastic packaging to kind of figure out where to line them up. That way I can adhere down this scallop die cut piece from the kit this month, and I'm going to do all my stitching before I stick down any big bulky items. So I'm going to head and took this over to my sewing machine and just kind of added a double wonky stitched line around the edges of my page here, and that way 3 sides of that floral piece are adhered down. The top part of it is not, and that way it creates a big pocket down at the bottom here. And you can see if I had created everything on that pattern paper first and then adhered it down, I wouldn't have to deal with the stitching on the back side of this page, but it's not a problem. I can always cover that up with another piece of white paper or pattern paper and cover up that stitching. It won't be a problem. So I decided to go ahead and layer my photo up on some more of the papers from the kit this month. I wanted kind of this pop of black for contrast, but I did go ahead and decide to add the photo to some tissue paper first, just to kind of soften that black and white paper that's going to be behind it. And before I start building up on my layers, I am going to stamp on my photo. So I've pulled out the Zoe stamp set. This is a much older stamp set, and it has this stamp that says your special day. And there's kind of a blank area in the top left-hand corner of this photo in the pool water that I can stamp on. And so I pulled out my stamp positioning tool just because I want to make sure I don't mess up my stamping with this photo. I don't want to have to reprint it. So I've got that all lined up there. Sorry for the headshot. I'm making sure that it's straight. And I am going to stamp using a permanent ink since I'm stamping on that slick photo surface. So I can ink that up, and with having it in the stamp positioning tool this way, if I didn't get a good impression the first time, I could go ahead and double stamp it and it will be in the exact same spot. But I got lucky. It was fine the first go around there. And then now I can go ahead and start layering this up and adding it to my spread. I'm trying to keep my layers pretty minimal because I don't want to cover up too much of that really, really pretty floral piece there. So I initially cut this down with quite a bit of that black and white paper showing, but I go back in and kind of trim it down even more. That way I can see some of those florals. They are so, so pretty. And I love that the blues of this photo kind of match some of the blues. Not perfectly, but they do have some blues and greens that match the colors of the kits this month. Initially, I thought about layering up this tag, but once I got it on there and looked and saw how much of the florals it covered up, I decided just to kind of leave it the way it was there. And so now I can go ahead and just continue to stick things down. Nothing too fancy at this point. And like I said, some of the stickiness had come off of these alpha stickers, so I did have to go ahead and add some dry adhesive. You can avoid that just by carefully removing them from the backer sheet. I got a little excited and just pulled them off too quick. And the nice thing about putting them on that plastic packaging ahead of time is you can kind of move the stickers around and figure out exactly where you want them lined up before you stick them down. Because like I said, they are super sticky, so you don't want to have to risk trying to pull them up and tearing your layout at this point. I have that green label there. I'm kind of trying to decide. I was having issues with that top right-hand corner, that blank space. I felt like it needed something in there, but I wasn't sure what, and I decided to just go ahead and embrace blank area and I didn't stick anything up there, and I moved that green label down to the bottom, and that's actually where I'm going to add the date, which I was going to initially stamp, but I ended up using some stickers. On this 3x4 journaling card, this is one of the ones from the Lola Kit, and it has this blank white area that you can stamp in. So I've pulled out the Loving stamp from the kit this month, and I prefer to stamp with VersaFine Onyx Black ink just because it gives you a very crisp stamped image. So if I'm not stamping on something slick, that's what I stamp with. And then you can see I'm going to apply that label down there and add the date using those super cute Essentials mini puffy alpha stickers, and add in the date. I did want to have the date because, you know, it's an important moment, and you can see here when I stick the date down, this is actually 5 years ago, so I do want to remember exactly when that date was. Went ahead and added tons of journaling to the back of that 3x4 card, and then you can see it perfectly tucks down into that little pocket that I created. And then that's it. We can stick this back into that 3-ring or 2-ring, I guess, mini book here. And I did have that little heart chipboard piece that, again, is from the Lola Kit. So everything is from the Lola Kit except for that one stamp that I used. And that is it for my entry today. So if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below. Head on over to the Felicity Jane blog to see more up-close photos of the project today. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.